All right, guys, welcome back to Fem Talk, episode 6, with me, your girl KP, where we highlight different issues that we experience in the community pertaining to our relationships, society, and the obstacles of living in our truth. Today, we have a super special guest going by the name of Tasia. Tasia, please introduce yourselves and tell the audience a little bit about who you are.
Hey, what is up, Karina? Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. I appreciate the invite. My name is Tasia. I go as T Stonier on Instagram. Most people know me on From the Circle season 5. I was 4th place. Yeah.
Cool. So I definitely want to talk about the circle experience, but for the most part, today's topic is going to be lesbian women working in male-dominated industries, because I know you work in cybersecurity, right?
Yeah, I'm a tech head.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about how you got into that space and what is it like working, or like what are some of the struggles that you face being a lesbian woman in a male-dominated industry such as cybersecurity?
Yeah, so I actually got into tech because my mom told me I should. I'm not gonna lie. She was like, "Tech is booming. You should get in that." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I ended up choosing cybersecurity, which is more interesting to me than the other technical fields. Um, but man, it is. It's full of just penises, dude. Seriously. So, and then not only that, but it's full of white men. So it's really hard to navigate as a Black female because I feel like sometimes, most of the times, I'm not really heard. And I'm not sure if it's because of my vagina or because of my skin. So, but it is tough. I do love it. And it's really good pay. So yeah, we just got to keep on getting more women in STEM.
I definitely feel that. Girl, I'm sure. I was actually gonna say that too. Not only is it, that you are a lesbian, but you're a Black person at that. So it's like a double whammy kind of right there. So how do you that, like, when you feel unheard, or when you feel like you may have a great idea that they're just kind of like brushing you on the table, like how do you work through that?
You know what? It's unfortunate, but I have to repeat myself. Or I will just say, sometimes I'll say something and then somebody else will be like, "Oh, we can do this." And it'd be exactly what I said. And I'm like, didn't I just say that? And so I vocalize those things. I don't hide behind the screen and like keep myself on mute. And then I have them explain to me as to why they didn't take the idea when I said it. Sometimes I guess it's just a matter of misunderstanding, or maybe it's just a matter of like they're thinking while I'm speaking. But it does happen more times than it should. So,
Are you the only Black person in your company that you know of?
so there's probably like, I think 3 other Black people that work in my job.
Okay.
So it's not that many Black people. There are a lot of women, but there are none. There's only, I think, 2 of us in tech.
Okay. So what are some other fields of tech exactly that more Black people, Black women need to get into outside of cybersecurity?
Yeah, so like there's break fix, right, where you can just deal with like fixing software or fixing the hardware on computers. There's software development where you can build applications. There's networking where you can actually set up routers, set up servers, and observe network traffic and make sure that it's flowing properly. There's IAMs. Well, that's still security. But there are other facets to technology that people can take advantage of. I just think that people feel like people in tech are geniuses. And that's not true. I'm an average person who got like C's in high school, and I smoke hella weed. But as long as you know what I mean? As long as you keep going and as long as you try, I think that anybody can do it. I really, really do.
Okay, cool. So like, I know you, technically, did you have to go to school for it, or how do you get certified to work in tech?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So I did end up getting my bachelor's degree in cybersecurity and computer networking.
Okay.
But if you didn't want to go the 4-year route, there are certifications that you can take, like your CCNA, CompTIA. So those would be the faster route instead of having to do the 4 years.
That's good to know. So everybody out there listening, I just need y'all to know, like, she's dropping gems right now because.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I might have to join tech or something. Yeah. Come on now.
Karina, I got you. Okay, study buddy. I got you.
teach me everything I need to know. That's
Got you.
for real, for real. So I know that you've been doing that for a while now, but what was your experience like before you got into tech as an out lesbian woman? Like, did you ever have, like, I used to work at Amazon, you know, so any jobs like that where people like maybe were uncomfortable, or what were some of your experiences before where you work now?
Yeah, so I mean, I was in the military for a little bit, and I did join when it was Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was actually pretty cool though, because I got to join when it was Don't Ask, Don't Tell, but then over the years, you kind of get to see the progression of them accepting gay couples and giving them BAH and things like that. So I think that that would be the only job that I had that was like a little weary of me being homosexual. But it ended up working out. I mean, people started, you know, protesting, and I think we got some bills signed. And so the government ended up saying, you know what, we fuck with the homos. So
You know, and we do. We do. Oh, that's actually really cool that you said that. Because I totally forgot that you were in the military. So when it was okay, when you joined and it was Don't Ask, Don't Tell, what is it like? So it's like, say you go there, obviously they're able to kind of like look at you and maybe they understand, like, were you treated differently before it was kind of accepted, or just, you know, like, do you know anybody who experienced like backlash because obviously how they present themselves, even if they didn't know for sure?
So I never really understood Don't Ask, Don't Tell, because I feel like when everybody looks the same, right? I mean, I don't really feel like you can. I mean, I feel like that you can kind of tell some people who are gay and some people who aren't, but because everybody wears the same uniform and it's like dress right dress. I didn't really understand how they would find out that you were gay. Like, do they need to walk in on you having sex, or like what? You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you gonna know unless you just walk in and there's a pussy in my mouth? I never understood that. You know what I mean? So I literally, I will tell you this for a fact. I never got treated any differently. Being a lesbian, everywhere I've gone and all my jobs, I've always been very out and very vocal and very straightforward, like I am with you right now.
Okay.
So I haven't gotten any harassment, and I didn't go to HR for sexual harassment. So I mean, we're good.
That's good.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm saying some crazy shit.
I'm kind of know right now. I'm dying to know. Did you have pussy in your mouth while you was in the military?
Karina, the real question is, when don't I have pussy in my mouth? Okay, let's be real. Let's be real. Okay, it's always pussy in my mouth. Always.
You know what? You're right. I should have knew. I should have knew. I should have knew. We should call you the pussy monster.
Yes. Yes. Second to Wayne.
Okay, cool. So speaking of, tell us a little bit about your coming out story. What was that like? When did you come out? What was your experience with your family and your friends?
Man, everybody get the tissues ready. It was actually really, really tough because my family is very religious. And so I think that it was hard for them to really kind of accept it. You know, of course, I'm always going to get I think all lesbians got you know, this is a phase, right? Like that's always the start of it. Yeah, right. Look, because you know, exactly. Yeah, you know, you already know. So it always starts off with that, you know, this is a phase. And then it kind of trickled into just like not a lot of communication because they weren't comfortable with, you know, my lifestyle. And I get it, you're right. That makes a lot of sense, especially when it comes to religion, right? Because God is first, above your kids, above your husband, above whatever. And so I think that it just was a matter of my mom respecting her religious beliefs. But, you know, as the years went on, my mom realized, you know what, I would much rather just have a relationship with my daughter. We don't have to be on the same page. We don't have to agree on the same things. But the relationship does matter. And so now, I mean, my family was just here when I bought my house. You know, I'm always down there saying what's up to them. So, I mean, we're really a close family. We always have been. I think the difference is, though, just kind of sparked a rough time, a rough patch.
Right. I definitely agree. And I think one of the biggest like phrases I guess like I like to live by is like, you may not understand it, but as long as you accept and respect me, then we're good, you know? Right. Some people don't understand our lifestyle. Some people feel like, you know, it's a choice to be gay or whatever. And for some people, maybe it is, but for some people like us, it is who we are, you know? Right. I'm glad that you're able, you know, and years afterwards were able to, you know, come to like common grounds with your family and have that relationship, especially with your mom. I think that's very, very important. So I love that for you. I'm still kind of working on it with my family.
Really?
Girl, it's, yeah, like my family, like they know, but oh, you're too pretty to like marry a woman. You need to be a man. Or when you're going to have babies, like you can't have babies with a woman. Like, yes, I can.
Yeah. When did you tell them? How long ago was it?
I came out in 2014, and that was actually just to kind of like my friends. Like, I don't think I told my parents until maybe like a year or so later, like after I had my first girlfriend. And I remember working at Amazon, girl, and she would come pick me up. Mind you, I date masculine presenting women, so she would come pick me up, little Honda. My grandma would see her at the show, was telling my grandma, "That's my friend." You know, she's gonna come get me. But mind you, she lived in Rialto, going to Upland to pick me up to take us back.
Girl, ain't nobody doing that for the homie.
Exactly. I'm like, what friend, you know, is out here doing that? So yeah, shout out to my first girlfriend.
She a real one. Hey, and you her.
She was a real.
No, it's fine.
But it's okay. It's okay. So I think it was just really important after a while, because you know, as for our viewers out there, Tasia and I went to high school together.
Yeah.
And, no, she's a little bit older than me. We were definitely in the same high school, Upland gang, you know.
Yeah.
And I think during that time, like it was just really, really hard for me because I was not like living in my truth, you know, like I was dating guys at the time because I felt like it was so taboo to be gay. Like, granted, I had an obviously very gay best friend, even though I didn't know. And but still, like, there was not a lot of people. And it's funny because she's laughing because
we just talked about this.
Inside joke there. But yeah, so it was just not, it was like taboo to be gay. I didn't know anybody else who like liked women. Maybe for guys, like you could tell a gay guy, that was different. But for girls, like it was just weird because every time I brought up the conversation of like, you know, like maybe liking girls, like I feel like it made girls uncomfortable, you know, because
yeah,
you like me, girl.
What?
If I
I hate that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it was uncomfortable. So I wasn't living in my truth. So I wanted to know, like, how important is it for you to live in your truth now?
Oh man. I don't think I could ever go back, really. Yeah, at this point. I think that I think I came out when I was like 19 or 20. And I'll be 30 this year. So
30 club.
Yeah, dirty 30, finna get nasty. But no, for real, I don't think I could go back. Like, I don't think that I could like pretend to be not gay at this point. And then I feel like at this point, the way, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of obvious that I'm gay to me. I feel like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that living in my truth is very, very important. I think that it should be important to everybody. You know, you win some, you lose some, but being honest it's liberating.
It definitely is. I feel like, especially in 2023, you know, like people either gonna get with it or they get lost. I know, yeah, people get lost in the sauce. Oh well, and that's okay. But I just know that there's a lot of people who still struggle, like with their identity, with their sexuality, who are struggling, feeling like, are people going to accept me? I want you guys to know, you know, fuck them people.
Hard.
like no disrespect. Fuck them people, because at the end of the day, when you're not living in your truth, you're only hurting yourself. Like living to please other people does nothing for you except for you, and make you feel like less of a person, or however it makes you feel. So even if you lose some friends, you lose some family members for a little while, your job, whatever the case may be, like it's just important to stay true to self. Because that's really all. You go to bed with yourself every night.
Right. You gotta live with yourself. Shit.
Yeah, you know, and I think it's important for people to live the best version of themselves, like who exactly they want to be, you know? Exactly. So, yes. Definitely. But now, I know the community, we got all these letters, LGBTQ plus XYZ, whatever.
Alphabet gang, alphabet mafia, yeah, that's what they call it.
So, I know that each letter obviously means something to represent within the community, but do you believe in labels? Like, for instance, I'm technically a feminine woman. You may be, some people may consider you a stud, but like, do you believe in labels, or are you kind of just like, I am who I am, this is what it is?
So I think that people want to classify themselves, and that's totally on them. But I don't like being classified. So like, even my heterosexual friends, they'll be like, oh, you're this stud. Or, you know, other lesbian women will be like, oh, you're a stud. And I'm like, what do we call heterosexual couples? Like, they don't have labels. We don't label the man, or, you know what I mean? We don't say, okay, who pays the bills? Who's more dominant? You're the this and you're the that. So I don't understand why we have to accept those. And some people in our community accept those labels, right? They like being called STEM, and they like being called dykes or whatever, butch or whatever the other ones are, right? Me personally, right. I fucking hate them. I swear to God, Karina, I'm so glad you asked me this. I fucking hate them, like, to my core. I tweet about this maybe once a month. I fucking, because what is a stud? A stud is a fucking animal. Like, do not compare me to that. I just don't like the name of it. I don't like to be labeled and categorized as anything. I just eat pussy, man. I just eat it for a living. I'm like, hey, I use the backpack. We'll use TikTok language, I guess. But yo, I know feminine women who do the same thing. Sometimes I wear a crop top. Sometimes I wear freaking a man's fucking two-piece from Shein. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why do I have to be called anything but Tasia? I hate that shit.
I can feel you, girl. You have me over here cracking up. Just know, because you said a couple things. For one, I don't know where the term stud came from. I don't know what that is. I know. I don't know. I know, like, they use that for, like, dogs when they're, like, buff and, you know, like, he's a stud.
And, like, I thought it was for donkeys and horses or some shit, too. Like, male. Girl, yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know, like, what it's short for or what. So that's definitely one thing. I absolutely hate the word dyke. It just gives me, like, cringe. Like, yeah. What is that? What is it? That just sounds so disrespectful, right?
And then apparently butch is for white people and stud is for black people. I'm like, what?
And why
now we're color coordinating these? Like, girl, get me.
And you make a very valid point, because it's not fair that heterosexual couples, we just call them, okay, they're a couple. So why do we have to call this a lesbian and stud couple? Why can't they just be like a gay couple?
Let's talk about it.
Like, why there's so many goddamn terms for us?
Yes.
You know,
we already have the LGB, ABCDE, MSG. Like, we already have that, right? We already have the flags. We already have all these other things. It's like we have other things to continue to, like, box us into this, like, little space. And it's like, I just don't fuck with it. I personally just don't.
I do. I feel you. I really do. I think something else that bothers me a little bit, and this is just personal opinion, guys, because I don't think there's anything wrong with the flag, but it bothers me that sometimes where, like, it's just always so pushed upon, like, okay, you're gay, so here's the flag. Like, for Pride Month, you know?
Yeah.
Trying to be inclusive, they feel like you put this flag up and it means, like, okay, we're including you. Like, yeah. Why this flag does not necessarily represent me.
Right.
You know? I don't like the agenda that kind of gets pushed behind it, because they just put it on everything. And sometimes it just seems ingenuine, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with you on that, for sure.
I don't know if that's just me, but I think Pride is lit, though.
That's fun.
Pride outside, revving my pride.
Yes. My titties would be out. Like, what?
So are mine. So listen, you know, it is April 11th, y'all. Summer is almost upon us. Now, question of the day, Tasia, are you single?
Karina, absolutely. Like, single.
So what is your big single? What is your opinion of the current state of dating? Do you want to be in a relationship? Do you want to be outside? Are you looking for something? Like, what's tea?
Oh my God. The dating scene, and I haven't even fully, like, I probably, like, dipped my toe into the dating pool, right? Like, just to kind of see what's out there. And man, I'm just not fucking with it right now. I think right now, what I am currently doing is fucking, right? I'm just gonna be honest. Like, that's like, Karina, I'm gonna just be straight up right now. Like, I am just fucking. I just cannot. I'm just not looking for anything serious. My last relationship was for 4 years. Very, very serious. I was very, very serious about that relationship. And I think that that has. I think that I'm not ready to just get into something again. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in back-to-back relationships since high school. So right now I'm kind of just like trying to even understand like what I'm looking for, right? And so again, going back to the whole label thing, we have feminine women and masculine women we have those different categories, and then we have feminine women who don't necessarily want to like treat masculine women like they're women. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I can't deal with that. Like, I'm tired of taking care of somebody. I'm tired of like flying you out for your birthday, doing all this other shit, and I barely can get a gift. I can't even get dinner. I can't get flowers. I can't get my fucking feet rubbed. Like, come on. So I think that I'm just getting into a point to try to understand, like, what am I even looking for? And then, you know, once I get serious, I'll just go from there.
I feel you. Well, wait till after the summer, because, you know, we got some things to do. We got places to eat. We got places to store, you know.
Karina, it's gonna get wild.
We got to go to New York, you know.
We got to do that. We got to do that. Sam has been trying to get me. She's been trying to get me to New York. She said she's going to go for Pride in June. Hey, you got to come with me.
Just let me know.
Okay, you got to come with me.
Okay. But you did say something that I really do agree on, because I don't understand what the stigma is in, like, okay, so feminine and masculine presenting relationships among women, where the feminine woman feels like she don't got to do nothing for the masculine presenting woman. Because in my opinion, I'm going to treat you like a queen, like whether you're masculine presenting or not, because you're still a woman. So you may not want flowers, but I'm going to put together like little gift baskets of all your favorite things, or I'm going to buy you a massage if you ain't never went and got a massage before. Just like little things that I feel like she would appreciate, no matter how hard she is. But there really are some women who feel like, oh, well, you're the nigga.
Somebody wipe this woman. Somebody wipe this woman, because she understands it. You better fucking hurry up. Karina, you nail on the coffin though. Seriously.
Girl, it's a real thing. It's a real thing, because, you know, I've seen it. I feel like I've been there in my younger years, you know, because I'm 28 now. I've been in quite a few relationships, and I had to learn these things. But it's like when you really fuck with somebody and you appreciate the person you're with, then you automatically grow to do these things. You know, I would never be in a relationship now and I don't make my partner feel like she's cherished as a woman, as my partner, as my wife, or whatever the case may be. Like, right. The only thing I require for all the ladies out there is you take out the trash, you pump the gas.
That's the somebody wife her. Somebody wife her before I do it, because that's too easy. I literally just put my trash cans out this morning and I got gas this morning, nigga. Somebody get Karina. That's fucking easy, G.
Tell the people, Tasia. Tell the people.
Hey, that's fucking easy, man. I'm telling you. But
some people feel like that is so hard. Okay, okay. Those are two things that I require you to do that I just totally cannot do. Like, I hate taking out the trash and I hate pumping my gas. But I also require communication. You have to be communicate, because let's talk about it. A lot of people nowadays suck at communication, not even just in gay relationships in general. You know, people not know how to express themselves, or have, you know, say we're in conflict. It doesn't have to be an argument. We can talk about what the issue is instead of acting weird and being on some funny shit.
Karina, like, do you live up here? You're not wrong, G. You're not. I fell out with so many people because of those reasons. Like, you're too afraid to just say, hey, look, this is bothering me that you do it. Because guess what? I'm going to tell you. If you're doing something that's like bothering me, or that's like, I'm like, look, I can't deal with this, I'm going to let you know, hey, look, this is bothering me. So do you want to talk about it? Do you want to try to fix it? Maybe I'm being insensitive. Like, let's see what the problem is. Because it could be me. But that is hard to even get somebody to just have a conversation. And it's like, I don't understand that. We're all adults. And we can agree to disagree.
And keep it pushing. But as long as we talk about it, you know, So I just, for all of our viewers out there, I really, really, really recommend that if you guys do not know how to communicate, to a certain extent, I understand, but take the steps to learn how to do so, because it saves so many problems and relationships just by being able to talk through things,
Definitely.
And one thing I also want people to understand too is, if you are feeling a way about something and you're not ready to talk in that moment, that is okay. You can take time, you can take your space, whether that's a day, 2 days, however long. It shouldn't really be more than a couple days, but you always need to revisit what it was that was the issue, because
Right.
I find that so often, especially in a lot of my relationships, the women that I dated, they lacked communication skills. So they would feel like, they would tell me, oh, I don't want to talk about this right now. And then days would pass and then it was never brought up again. And
yeah, no, you can't just sweep something under the rug either.
Yeah, especially because if you don't get to talk about it, the same thing's going to happen. And that's
right.
what the same thing was happening. And at some point, it's like shit got real old and we had to go.
Yeah, right. I get that.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a lot out here. But
yeah,
I definitely want to talk about The Circle. So as you guys know, Tasia was on season 5, right?
Yep, season 5.
Season 5 of The Circle on Netflix. If you guys haven't watched it, you definitely need to tune in. I actually never watched The Circle until you went on there, because well, let me watch my friend. Hold up.
And nice. Netflix, I hope you heard that. I brought a viewer.
Yes, she did. She brought a viewer and a fan, because I was watching that motherfucker. It was so funny because I didn't realize that you weren't on the first episode. So I'm watching it and I'm like, bro, where is Tasia? Hold up. Then we go to episode 2. I'm like, where is Tasia? I think it was episode 4 or 5 that you came out. And I was like, there goes my friend. Yeah. So what was The Circle like? How did you find The Circle? How did you get on there? What was your experience? And we'll go from there.
Yeah, so randomly I had been watching season 2 and I was like, you know what? I can do this shit. Like, I'm a schmoozer. Like, I will literally like just gas people and just say a bunch of shit to people to make them feel good. Like, I do it all the time.
Right.
Don't mean half the shit I'm saying sometimes, but niggas be feeling good though. Niggas be feeling good though. So I was like, yo, I can get these motherfuckers. So at first, I think when I was going through it, I was like, yo, I should, I'm going to go in, but I'm going to go in as Catfish. And a lot of people ask me like, oh, well, why did you do that? And I think it's just because of societal norms that I felt like if I went in as myself, somebody who, again, is like, nerdy. I don't dress very well, right? I just kind of wear sports bras and like sweats and like shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't a fashionista, right? And I really wanted to show off like perky titties. My shit be sleep, bitch. I mean, slump bill, okay? So it was like shit like that I was like, yo, I really need to come in as a Catfish. Sexy, do the sex appeal, entice the guys and the girls. Okay. So it really was a win. So I ended up just finding it off of I think Google or off the Circle page. Really just got up with casting, did an audition video, and then they called me. It was a process to kind of get through, but then I finally got a call from my cast director saying like, hey, you're gonna go over. So we ended up having to go to the UK to film. Okay. Yeah, and I stayed there for like a month and a half because of COVID and stuff. So we had to take like tests and make sure that we were still good. But I'll be honest with you, Karina, I cried my fucking eyes out when I found out that I wasn't starting. So how you were like, oh, I didn't see you in the first episode. I cried when they told me like, hey, you're not going to start. I was like, I broke down.
Did they give you why?
I really felt like everybody who starts wins. I feel like if you start, you can win.
Right.
So I think only one season, somebody who didn't start won. But outside of that, the starting 5, they gained this like idea that like, hey, we are the OGs and anybody who comes in after us is just a newbie or a new person. And it's like, they don't really try to formulate new relationships with the new people who come in. It's harder for us to communicate. But yeah, I mean, overall the experience was cool. I still fuck with some of the castmates from there. So yeah, I mean, it was cool.
That's dope. Do you see yourself like doing it again if you had the opportunity?
Fuck no. If it was something else, maybe like something cannabis related or maybe something cooking related, I don't know. I would probably do it. But to be in isolation like that again, and then again, you don't know when you're going to start and when you're not. I don't think it would be, and I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah. Okay. So like, cause I know you said you were there for like a month and a half before you actually got to start. Like, were you not able to have your phone in the room? Like you couldn't talk to anybody, like, or it was just you and your pillows of your dogs?
Yeah. I love those pillows. I still have them actually. So when you're in the room, you don't have any, like, it's no communication, at all. But again, we had to go over there for like some testing and things like that. And so they do take your phone for a period of time, because they don't want you on socials and stuff like that, right? Right. It's supposed to be very, very secretive. So it's not even necessarily that not having my phone was an issue, because prior to that, right, I wasn't on social media. Before, I think I was off social media for like 2 years. I wasn't like engaging it. Yeah, I wasn't engaging in it, any of it. I actually didn't even plan on coming back on social media after the show. But I got single, so, you know, I'll be honest. But yeah, not having the phone wasn't really the big deal. I think it was just like the moment of being in isolation was just too much. And then being away from home for that long was just like too much. I mean, I missed my girlfriend at the time. I missed my dogs. And then I just missed the comfort of like being in my own home, like walking around naked. You can't do that when there's 50 fucking cameras. Yeah. You know what I mean? Pussy all out. Like, that's not happening. Netflix is gonna be like, bitch, put some clothes on. I'll be like, okay, right. I guess. Yeah. They're like, this is a Pornhub. Funny. So,
well, that's good to know, like a real actual experience, like from a real person who went on there. You know, I think you did really well personally. You know, so that's cool. But I know that you are a cannabis enthusiast now. So, you know, can you tell us a little bit about like what you're doing with that or what your plans are for the future?
Yeah. I mean, fuck with me and send me weed. What the fuck? Like, let's start with that. Okay. But no, I actually had to stop smoking to get on the circle. So really? I told them I smoke weed every day, and they were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, cause I've been smoking weed like consecutively for 6 years. Okay. Now, I use it to get off of drinking so much and stop smoking cigarettes. And then I just kind of gained other things from it, right? Like self-awareness, just the love of being high. Right. So when I told them that I smoke weed every day, they were like, oh, weed is illegal out here. So would you be able to stop smoking weed to do this? And so I said, yeah. I ended up just not smoking for that month and a half. So I also missed my weed. Woo! Yeah.
Girl, I know that was probably like, oh my God. You smoke.
So it wasn't that bad, but I will say, like, I have ADHD, so weed does help like calm me down and like just bring me back to like a normal like level. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you saw me on there. I was screaming every chance I got. So it was like the ADHD was like to the roof, baby. Like it was too high. Like it was bad. But the withdrawal, I didn't have any withdrawals though. That's good.
That's good. At least she wasn't on there tweaking. That's all that stuff. Hey. Well, make sure you guys check out season 5 of The Circle if you guys want to catch up with Tasia and all her shenanigans on the show. Okay. See the pillows that we're talking about. They're super fucking cute. And you know, Tasia, go ahead and drop your Instagram one more time.
T_Stonier, STOINER.
Yes, I'm glad she spelled that out for you guys, because sometimes when I be trying to tag her, it does not pop up. So make sure you guys follow her, keep up with her. And Tasia, thank you so much for joining us today. I think this was a very great conversation. I'm very proud of everything that you're doing, and just keep being great. You know, we out here.
Hey, Karina, I appreciate you. I'm proud of you too, man. And thank you for inviting me on here. This is mad cool. I fuck with you for that.
Thank you. You're welcome. You know the vibes. Yeah. All right, guys, we will see you next week on Fem Talk.